Hey y'all, it's your girl Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration. And I know I owe you an update about my trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I had some family situations I had to deal with the moment that we came back. So if you have not been following, please go back and you can watch the last two videos. I did a video, it was just a quick story. At it's a place called the Gathering Place, and then I did one about the Black Wall Street. That one is like amazing. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Come to Tulsa to go see the Black Wall Street. So for those of you that don't know, I am Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration. I am an inspirational speaker, lifestyle strategist, author, and a plethora of other things. And for those of you that are new, you have never seen, don't know what I'm talking about, I was selected to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma through a program called Tulsa Remote. And they pay you $10,000 to make that location, to make that relocation and that move for at least a year. Um, I was able to go to Tulsa for a few days, and it was definitely funded by Tulsa Remote, and I was able to get an experience for Tulsa, Oklahoma. So stay tuned, and I would let you know how I felt and whether or not I am still making this move. Welcome, I am here. Yes, I am back from Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's been a couple of weeks. For those of you that are new, make sure that you subscribe, hit that like button because I guarantee you, you are definitely going to enjoy the content that is here, even the content that is not related to my Tulsa relocation. Okay, now, do I like Tulsa? I do. I really can see myself in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is just my kind of vibe, my speed. I am a New York girl, born and raised in Brooklyn, lived here my entire life. But when I tell you, I am ready to go. I'm ready to leave the city and just experience new. For some people, we need new. You need new because no matter how amazing life can be in one particular area, you go to another region, another city, state, even a country, things can just multiply and grow, and the abundance and prosperity can come into your life like you have never seen before. So when I got there, like literally flying into Tulsa, just like it was just flat. You know, it's totally different from flying into like New York, where you have like all the tall buildings and you see all the buildings like together. Here you can just like literally see the land, and you can, and to me that's very important, being able to buy lands or have a house that has a little bit of land. That's to me becoming a lot more important because of the state that we are in our country. So I am really big on how much space can I buy, because you never know, I might want to get an RV, or I might want to be able to build like a mother-in-law suite on my property, later on down the line. You just never know. So in New York City, in order to get land, you're paying a couple of millions of dollars. And right now, there's like a house near me in Brooklyn that is 3 bedroom, 2 bath, is going for $680,000, and the lot size is 2,000 square feet. That's just the lot. But in Tulsa, you can get a house, a decent house that doesn't really need much update for like $150,000 with a lot size of 6 to 8,000 square feet. That's just giving you some kind of perspective of how different it is. So when I was flying in, you're like literally, you can see like the grids, from the airplane. The one thing that I really wanted to pay attention to was like, how did my gut feel? Like, how did my energy feel while I was there? That was really huge for me because in the last couple of years, since 2014, 2015, really walking with God, I am learning how to get away from being so logical. The logical Tanisha is going to make different decisions than the Tanisha that's going to trust her gut, that's going to, listen to what God is telling me, because that is going to come out and yield different results. So I was really making sure that I paid attention. Like, how do you feel when you're here? How does your gut feel being in Oklahoma? When you get off the plane, you're walking in the airport, how do you feel? And I paid attention to that, and I wanted to capture that. And not for nothing, I felt great. I felt at peace. Like, this has actually been one of the situations where, from the time that I saw the application, applied for the program, to the time that I actually got accepted and then went to Tulsa, I never felt like maybe you're doing the wrong thing. And that's usually not how I operate. Usually I would start overthinking things. Usually I would start to think of all these scenarios that could possibly happen that has not even happened. And what I started to pay attention to was because the logical Tanisha is going to talk herself out of it. Because logically, we don't do these things. Logically, you're living in the best city. Why would you leave opportunities? Why would you leave something that you're so familiar with to go somewhere that you don't know? You don't know anyone there. Family has never been there. Why would you do that? And I literally can say I have felt so at peace there. Um, the one thing that I do love about it, I can drive on the highway and like it's very little aggravation, very little. They do have a habit of doing their road construction at night, which I appreciate, because for some reason, and I get it. I mean, my sister and I were talking about this. In New York City, of course, it's going to cost more to do road work at night because you have to pay the people down time and a half, overtime, whatever you want. But it's just so inconvenient to have all this road work happening when people are trying to get to work, when people are trying to get home from work. This is the reason why our commute times can be so long and drastic, because of the fact that we are sitting in traffic, because we're competing with construction that's happening on the highways. Doesn't make sense. So while I was there, I got a rental car, and like literally I'm driving and I'm just like, oh, this is like feeling good. This is, this feels really natural. I'm not fighting with people. I'm not honking my horn. If someone felt like I was driving too slow, because I'm trying to realize that they don't have like numeric exits. A lot of their exits are just names. So I'm trying to see what the GPS is telling me and making sure that I'm going the right direction, going the right place. And they would just go around me. Like, no one was honking at me. Nobody was like flicking me off. One person flicked me off, but she was flicking me off. Not real. I'm like, girl, like you're impatient because we were all sitting in traffic. Like, it was just traffic. So you can flick me off all you want. I can't go any faster than what I am going. You know what I'm saying? Sit down. So it was just, that's my kind of vibe. One night we drove from we stayed downtown and then we drove down to South Tulsa. And South Tulsa, one of the other finalists, her niece lives in Tulsa and she's been living there for 20 years. So she allowed us to come to her place, see her apartment, and kind of just get an idea as to what does South Tulsa offer as far as location wise, how far it was. And that's when I can say, seeing the traffic, because they were doing the road work at night. But it still took about 25 minutes, which is not bad. I don't remember the actual distance as far as how many miles it was, but I can guarantee you it was more miles than it is for me to get from the Bronx to Brooklyn. And it would still take me about 45 to an hour to get from the Bronx to Brooklyn at night. Okay. And this is something that, again, I don't want to compare because of the fact that it's not the same place, right? New York has millions of people here. Tulsa has a couple of 100,000, right? I think it said 300,000 people actually live in the city of Tulsa. So it's night and day. It's not the same thing. But I do like the fact that I can just get in my car and I can go 10, 15 miles and get there in 15, 20 minutes versus taking 40 minutes to go 3 miles. And that is a reality in New York City. Like, people have to realize that is something that we truly do deal with. And that's why I say, for me, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. I like to get and go, right? I like the quiet, and I like to just go. Um, so I just really liked it. I'm really excited about going. I am still going. I have put that in my heart. I'm just like, you know what, God, I'm going to trust that you are sending me on a journey that I need to go. And I cannot listen to other people. I cannot take on their burdens. I cannot take on their worries. I have to release myself from the stronghold that I have called comfort zones. And the one thing that I kept hearing, like literally everyone that was encountering me, they were like, it's it's nothing like New York. And I want people to realize, the people that are ready to leave their homes, doesn't matter where your home is, whether it's California, Chicago, New York, Miami, wherever, we are fully aware that it's not going to be the same thing. That is the reason why we are okay with leaving. And the other thing that has been happening, that's been coming up, and it is becoming annoying. And I keep trying to tell people, like, I know me, I know myself. I have done a lot of work to get to the space and place in my life to identify what I need and what I desire my life to look like. When you are a lifestyle strategist, that is one of the most important things that you have to do, is to figure out who you are and what do you want your life to look like. And so when you actually do that work, like I have done, this is how you get to a comfortable space of realizing, you know what? The place that I am today, the place that I was born in, is not the place that I belong in. See, I want us to realize that just because you were born and raised someplace does not mean that you are purposely belonging there. Doesn't mean that God needs for you to be there. My expiration time probably was a long time ago. God probably was trying to get me out of New York a long time ago, but I kept making excuses. I kept trying to be logical about my decisions and kept listening to the people who are comfortable and where they are. And I stayed comfortable with them. They might have been comfortable and content, but I was comfortable and unhappy. And I no longer desire to be that person. I no longer want that. So if I have to detach, oh, well, you're going to miss New York. That's the number one thing that if you want to annoy me today, say that again. You're going to miss New York. Want to know the reason why I'm not going to miss New York? Because New York is changing literally as I'm sitting here. The buildings that I know are no longer there. The places that I used to go are no longer there. So a lot of people are saying, oh, you're going to miss it. Believe it or not, you're not missing anything, because what you are missing no longer exists. The people who are saying that, if you came back and you drove around the neighborhood that you are missing, I guarantee you about 85, maybe even 90% of what it is that you're missing is not there. There's only one bar that I ever went to that is still existing. One. The places that I used to hang out with my friends, those places don't exist. So am I going to sit and stay someplace just because of memories? Because guess what? If you are really my friend, we're going to go somewhere else and we're going to establish new memories. Do not allow people who have not done the work, that have not gotten to the point of understanding who they are, that cannot define their own values, who are just moving at a pace because someone else is telling them to move at that pace, to tell you who they think you are. See, I know who I am. I don't think it. So when I tell people, this ain't it, I love it, but this is not it. Like I said, I was born here, but I don't belong here. And when we get to that level of understanding and we detach to the narratives that we have created and that have been passed on to us, you start to realize, like, well, you know what? Maybe I do need to go experience a new place. The one thing that I have heard from many people that have been to Tulsa, that are in Tulsa, everyone has said, this might not be my forever home, but I'm happy where I am today. And guess what? That's what we should be looking forward to. Because if you're not happy, right, in an environment, see, people have a misconception, oh, well, then you should be happy wherever you are. I am happy within myself. I know what makes me happy, and I go out and I seek those things. And if I feel like I need to get out of New York, guess what? I book a flight, I jump in my car, however I need to do it, and I'm out. I boogie on. But I also understand that I cannot continue to stifle myself in an environment that's not going to be beneficial to me. That's going to continue to crush my spirit and my soul. Can I make it work? Absolutely. But am I going to be at my best? Am I going to thrive at my best? Absolutely not. I am going to just continue to be content. And I'm sorry, I don't want to remain content. I remained content for many of years, but I can no longer do it. Not for anyone, not even for my family. Love them to death. But at this point, I have to do what Tanisha needs to do for myself so that I can have the life that I truly desire, the life that I sit on social media and I tell and I speak life into other people. I have to do those things. And if it's going to make other people uncomfortable, I apologize. But my life is not yours, and your life is not mine. And I wish everyone well. But my new line is, I love that for you. I love that for you. You want to stay in New York? I love that for you. You want to stay in your comfort zone? I love that for you. But for me, it's not happening. Mm-mm. So I do want to go back to Tulsa. I'm looking at flights. But I have like other things happen. Like I said, had my mom had a health issue, so we're dealing with that. Then I'm also dealing with some stuff as far as like my dental work and seeing like all my GYN, all that good stuff before I head out, getting my place together so that we can figure that out. But yeah, like I want to go back. I want to be able to just experience a little bit more, not having a schedule, because we did have a schedule. There were things that we had to do, and I appreciated it because they allowed us opportunities to connect with other people, with members of Tulsa Remote that have been there for 16 months. We didn't meet like the real vets, like the people that have been there for like 5 years. Well, not 5 years, but for 3-4 years. But we did meet some individuals who have been there and they're still there after their first year. Network with some other entrepreneurs, other small business owners who have relocated to Tulsa, not through Tulsa Remote, but through other initiatives that's happening in the city. The city is really going to thrive. I can see it. And again, I think that's just the gift of a seer, where I was like, yo, I can see this like 5 years being something extraordinary. So I'm literally like, I want to get in. I want to get my little piece of the pie. I want to be a part of the foundation of what's about to come, because it's like I said, it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great. And I keep telling people. So I have been, really talking to people and sharing. And, some people are like, yo, you're crazy. And other people are like, yo, that's dope. That's all you. People that know me. That's why I say, if you know me, they know they know it's going to be, this is up my alley. But if you don't know me, people are going to make comments, and that's cool. I have grown to understand that. But like I said, it is still annoying because people, they're speaking from a space of their comfort. By all means, God bless, right? So I am going to just keep sharing. I am going to try to do like a Zoom and record that with someone who is also going to Tulsa or who is already in Tulsa. I've been connecting with a lot of people, and I think that's just amazing because we all have that similar story. Like we all have the similar stories, being in a city of a place that some of us have been there since the time we were born, ready to leave, ready to get away, ready to just start, press the reset and start over and see what new comes into our lives. And I think that's just the extraordinary part. Like when I say I'm looking for like-minded individuals, that's where my like-minded individuals are. They all understood when I was saying, yo, I am ready for a change in my life, ready for a change of environment, change of energy space. I'm ready for a change. They understood that because they are also going through that same exact transformation and transition in their lives. And that's what I need. See, sometimes we're looking for our tribe in our present location. And unfortunately, that tribe may not ever appear. They may not ever show up in that present location. You got to go and find them. You got to go to where they are and then set up shop there. And then things will just flourish. That's how God sometimes work. It's not always going to be, well, my people are going to find me here in Brooklyn. No, my people might be in Tulsa. And then when we get there, things will rock out, things will blossom, and then it will grow. Same thing with you. Wherever you are looking towards, you're trying to accomplish, don't worry about anyone else. Go out and seek it for yourself. And you will find those people, the people that you're going to resonate, you're going to connect with. Go and find them. Go and thrive and build with them. Go to that location. Go where God is telling you. And sometimes you're going to realize, like, what you are trying to accomplish in your present location, it's not going to happen the way that you want it to, because it's not supposed to. But the moment that you go somewhere else and you do the same thing, see, some of us don't need new plans. We don't need new action plans. We just got to go to a new location and implement in that new place. And then you're like, whoa, I tried this and back at home and nothing hit, but I did it here and something hit. I don't know what that could be. Your story, it could be my story, I don't know, but I'm just saying that because that's something that I have always said in my book, Dear Single in Love. I'll drop the link in the bottom. Chapter 7, step out of the what is it? I think the step out of the land of familiar. And in that particular chapter, I'm talking about love. Some of us may not find the love of our lives in our city, in the state that you're currently in. You might have to relocate in order to meet that person, in order for that relationship to come to fruition, to actually happen. And so that's the same thing. We can apply that same theory to business, to your career, to your health, to your own self-love, self-care. It might not happen until you go there. Right? If you read the Bible, God says to us, like, sometimes the prophet does not have favor in their hometown. They got to find favor in other places. And as crazy as that may seem, other people will appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table. But the people that were in your own hometown, your own city, your family, your closest friends, they didn't appreciate. So now you go somewhere else. Stephon Marbury came to my mind a couple of days ago. And ironically, one of his stories came up on YouTube. And Marbury was on the Knicks, and I think he plays for other couple of NBA teams out of Brooklyn, New York, ironically, Coney Island. And he just wasn't getting the recognition that you could tell he deserved. Like, he was a really great basketball player, but he just wasn't getting that recognition. And it wasn't until I think he went to China. Like, this man, they got statues of this man in China. Like, I think there's like a day for for Marbury out there. Like, here he was in his home, plays for his home team, the team that I'm pretty sure as a teenager, as a child, he probably jumped on the subway and went to the Madison Square Garden to play. And he was actually a part of that team, but still didn't get the recognition. But it wasn't until he went to an entirely different country did they acknowledge him? Did they recognize him? I don't want to say worship, because I don't think that we should worship, people should worship us, but he received everything that he was potentially thinking, like, I want this. Like, I want people to know who I am. I want to be acknowledged for the greatness that I'm doing, because he was doing a lot of great things in Brooklyn. Like, I know that for a fact, because my mother's old friend, God rest his soul, he was following him, and he would tell us about the different basketball camps that he was putting on. And, he just wasn't getting that same recognition as Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, the guys, well, I don't know. I can't really name, like, Starks. He wasn't getting that kind of recognition. But go to China and everything just shifts greatly for him. And he found his place. It's not where he was born, but he found his place. And so some of us, that is going to be our story. You're going to end up finding your place in your space in another city. That is not where you were born. And it's okay. So I just wanted to share that I know I just went on a deep end, but I just really want us to just realize. And so I'm looking forward to it. Even Delta, like Delta just announced that they're going to be having nonstop flights from LaGuardia to Tulsa, Oklahoma. To me, that was a sign because we had to connect in Atlanta, and I'm not a fan of connections because anything can happen. I like direct flights. And when I got that message yesterday, I was like, God, you are working. You are making this happen because you know that I do not like to connect. So when I come back and I got to do some business out here, I got to see my family, whatever it is, vacation and take a cruise, I want to be able to just get on one plane and connect, not have to connect. But that definitely has happened. Coming in May, make sure you are booking your flights. So when I come and I get out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, everybody who's like, oh, I'm gonna come see you, make sure y'all come and see me, okay? It's not gonna be, oh, since you're gonna come see me, no, you can come and see me. There is a flight from LaGuardia from New York coming straight here, and I'll meet you at the airport. Cheers. So yes, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I am doing like a little housewarming registry. It's a little weird. So I just click the link below if you would like to donate to my housewarming gift card. Because I don't know where I'm going to be living at, it's just not going to make sense to have stuff shipped to me now. But to be able to just put everything onto this to a gift card, and this way, once I get there or before I leave, just kind of just like place those orders and have it shipped. So you like to donate $1, $5 or more, whatever God places on your heart. If you desire to, definitely click the link below and you can donate. But yeah, so I am Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration.